Good morning, KU. Welcome back to another semester, Jayhawks. We're excited to have you here. I'm Matthew Johnstone.
And I'm Aaron Pena, and we have a great show for you guys today. We're starting off the show is with our beautiful faces hosting. After that, we're going to go over to Ask and Shoots.
Then we'll have a special interview for you.
And then after that, we'll have the news with McKenna and Brenna.
And sports with Tristan and Jeremy.
Then after that, we'll have weather with Brooklyn. So we have a great show for you guys today. How's your day going so far?
It's going pretty great. I'm really excited about starting the new semester and starting another season of Ask and Shoots. We hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah, and we have a special day for you guys today. You know what today is?
It's Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
We're kicking off spooky season, guys.
Spooky season.
Are you afraid? Are you superstitious at all?
I'm very superstitious. I'm already anxious with everything already, so the fact that it's a full moon and Friday the 13th, I'm dead.
I'm amped for it. I like spooky stuff.
If you don't see me next week on the show, you know what happened.
I got to him.
He got to me. Yeah. All right, here's our Ask and Shoots for this week. We did a special politics theme. We hope you enjoy.
Welcome back, Jayhawks, to another semester at KU. It is fall 2019. And with that being said, Matthew and I are bringing you back another season of Ask and Shoots. It has been great last year, and hopefully we'll improve the content and bring you something even better this year. And this is what we got for you guys today. What do you think of the current political administration?
They're abrasive. They definitely are loud. They don't really care about being professional or censoring, which is kind of a problem for me.
I don't like the current direction it's headed.
I don't know. I don't really have a whole lot of political views. It's not my thing, so.
I don't like to give them a lot of my time to focusing on them because they're really dropping the ball.
Horrible. I mean, personal bias aside, he hasn't really followed through on the stuff that's on his agenda, so technically speaking, he isn't doing a good job on that basis.
Yeah.
So.
Agree.
If you guys could change one policy, what would it be?
Probably the zero tolerance policy. It's not my favorite. I don't think, I just don't think it's the right way to go about immigration policy. I don't know. Or environmental policy, probably. Those are the two.
Yeah, I'd probably, I guess I'll go with gun control. I'll probably support some sort of assault weapons ban, anything semi-automatic, fully automatic that is uniquely useful for mass shootings.
I would say we need to work on immigration. I'm for it. I love immigration. My family's immigrants, so we came over here. So, but right now, just with what they're trying to take away asylum seekers and keep talking about the Muslim ban. I know that's old news, but that's still always on the ticket, and it's annoying.
There hasn't been any official policies passed on this, but definitely what is going on with abortion bans and everything. Not a fan of that.
I would change the gun control laws we have because I don't think what we have now is really working for us.
Which children is Trump's favorite and least favorite?
Oh, God, I don't even know if I know his kids.
Ivana is definitely his favorite.
Yeah.
He loves her.
I don't know his children. I don't care to know.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Trump Jr.
Trump Jr.? All right.
Yeah.
And who do you think is his least favorite?
We'll go Ivanka.
Ivanka?
It's pretty clear that Ivanka's his favorite. Barron's probably his least favorite.
Probably Ivanka, and then is his favorite, and his least favorite is, I don't know, isn't there one just called Trump Jr.?
Yeah, well, I would say his favorite's probably Ivanka or whichever one works with him all the time, and then maybe his least favorite is Tiffany, because didn't he just call her fat?
Eric loves his dad. He always tweets I'm not gonna cuss. Yeah. He's I want you to love me.
Can you give us your best Bernie impression?
Okay.
Like a New Jersey accent.
Free college, free everything.
Free.
Free.
We need to distribute the funds because for too long, the 1%.
You want me like that?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
that's.
1%.
See, there we go.
College should be free. It's my Bernie impression.
If you could go on a date with any politician, who would it be?
Any politician? Who's like the current Democratic one? The one that's like a surfer?
I don't know. Probably, there's quite an age difference, so I'll probably just turn it into a conversation.
You can go get some coffee or something.
Yeah, just Starbucks with Elizabeth Warren,
Is he
something
there?
like that.
It's not bad.
I could go on a date with anybody.
Beto O'Rourke.
Beto, 100%.
He's so hot.
Yeah,
He's
that
so
is not
hot.
a question. He's so hot.
I think it would be pretty cool to hang out with Obama. and,
Obama,
go
yeah,
have-
like go on like a coffee.
yeah, or like go play a round of golf or something.
Yeah,
That'd be
he's a-
sweet.
Yeah. So Obama, that'd be
Yeah.
actually pretty cool.
He's charismatic. He's a good guy.
When you shop local in the heart of the city, you support the people that make our community thrive. The money you spend here stays here, in this place we call our home. Lawrence, Kansas, where there's good old-fashioned hometown pride. Eat local, drink local, shop local.
Welcome back. I'm McKenna.
And I'm Brenna, and we're bringing you the weekly news update.
The Bahamas are bracing for a second impact after Hurricane Dorian destroyed the Northwest region as a Category 5 hurricane. The U.S. National Weather Service issued a warning saying the Northwest region, including the Abaco Islands, is anticipating a hit by late Friday. The islands are not expecting a significant storm surge and will likely receive 2 to 4 inches of rain. Meanwhile, the death toll from the first hit reached 50 on Monday, as 1,300 others are still unaccounted for.
Former South Carolina Governor Mark Sanford is the latest Republican candidate to challenge Donald Trump for the 2020 presidential nomination. The two-time U.S. Congressman is the third person to announce their candidacy, despite the Republican Party canceling primaries in 3 states, including South Carolina. Party leaders in Kansas have also canceled their GOP primary.
With all the dangers of e-cigarettes and vaping in the news, the Lawrence School District is looking for ways to protect students. A recent study says 1/3 of all Kansas high school students have tried e-cigarettes, according to the Lawrence Journal World. Additional reports say that across the country, nearly 500 people have been hospitalized with lung disease caused by vaping. The biggest concern for the Lawrence School Board is the rate of addiction and development of a child's brain.
The KU Student Senate has created a new position for graduate students within the Executive Board, as the new graduate Vice President, Chris Brown, replaces the position of Graduate Affairs Director. The reason for the change is to promote the leadership of the position, which will advocate for all graduate students.
Well, that's all we have for the news today. We'll be right back after the break for a special interview.
Good morning, I'm Keely McCormick, and today I'm joined by Nancy Bocskor, who has a tremendous resume full of awards and accomplishments. So welcome to Lawrence.
Well, thank you. It's nice to be back in Kansas.
Yeah.
And I learned the history of rock chalk yesterday, and I posted that on Facebook because, you see, I love knowledge. So everyone in the world now knows why we say that here in Kansas. So I do my part to promote,
promote that.
college. Absolutely.
So you've done a lot of work with women going into the workforce and helping girls take girl power up a notch. So just tell me a little bit about your work with that.
You know, I used to tell people I want to open doors for people who had them slammed shut. I just moved to Texas about a year ago. I'm launching the Texas Center for Women in Politics and Public Policy at Texas Women's University. And I found there, women don't even know where the door is. And so I've just been very blessed in my career that my parents always were creating opportunities for me. So for now, it's what can I do to help empower women who didn't necessarily have, you know, a family that said you can be anything you want. My parents were pretty extraordinary when and my job when I was born from day one was you're going to college. So everything about my life was what can we prepare you? to be the best student you can be. And it's sad to realize and kind of enlightening to see that not everyone had that. And I think that's part of the difficulties we're having as a country right now.
So what do you think some of the biggest hurdles young women face as they're entering the workforce?
The biggest gap is the confidence gap. It has not changed. Another study came out again last week. The confidence gap for girls start as early as age 6. And it's subtle. Sometimes, you know, boys are noisy, girls are good, right? And it may be the one that's waving the hand in the classroom is the one that's getting called on. But it's really sad to see that it starts there. And so my career with the boards I'm on, one of the boards I'm on is running START, and we've been around more than a decade now, and have trained more than 15,000 young women, starting at age 13. So every summer at Georgetown University in Washington, D.C., we select 75 girls from age 13 to 18 and put them through a week-long political leadership. Because for young women, we are finding still in this day and age, if you want to run for office or you want to be powerful or you may be the noisy girl, you know, it's not necessarily, you're the nerd, right?
Yeah.
Hello, I feel like I'm uniting the fellow nerd girls around the world. But I say that because you should see them when they come to Georgetown and they're talking to other 13-year-olds who have already started nonprofits or they've already volunteered on a political campaign. And if I can whet their appetite, give them skills, and send them back with this confidence that it's okay to care what's going on.
Yeah.
And so that's pretty powerful, especially when we see this gap starting at 6. What can I do to really keep you on that path to public service?
Yeah, what are some other ways you think that women can close that confidence gap early on?
One of my favorite sayings is, change is difficult, to not change is fatal.
I like that.
And I have reinvented my career. I mean, no one in the world would think after 39 years of being, I have been in DC since a couple of months after I graduated from college. All of a sudden there was an opportunity in Texas to go for it. Yeah. And I went, okay, this is a major change. But our generation is very different, especially yours, very different from parents and grandparents where you would go work at the same company for 40 years and you'd get your gold watch and you would retire. Now you can change. You've got to stay at this job for 2 years or you have to be here 5 years. The world has changed. And I find that many women in particular are scared of that. I was very fortunate. I was the youngest woman chief of staff on Capitol Hill by age 30. But I also had looked around when I was a younger woman in my career and went, how are the men getting to be chiefs of staffs or field directors at the Republican Party? And it was because they left DC for a while. You cannot just be in the same place. So my best friend and I, and it's funny, we were reflecting on this recently, she got an offer to go manage a congressional campaign in Beaumont, Texas. Oh. And when she lost the primary, she ended up in Indiana. I ended up moving to Nebraska in my mid-20s because I knew I had to run. I ran the Nebraska Republican Party. And so that made us so much more valuable when we went back to DC because we had managed something big. Wow. And so nobody told us to do that. We just observed it. And so a lot of young men will get in their car and go out to the middle of nowhere in Kansas to manage a long shot congressional race. And then they end up being chief of staff at 24. But a lot of young women will go, gosh, I'm going to move, I'm going to leave my family, and who's going to pay my health insurance, where am I going to live? Yeah. And it's trying to convince women, it's okay, take a leap of faith. Yeah. Because the people who are risk takers are rewarded. And that is still, to this day, the biggest hurdle I see that young women is, change is hard. But if you don't, you will be in the same spot forever.
Yeah. Change is good.
It is. It can be good. And even if it's not, it's okay. We don't have to stay at the same thing for 40 years.
Yeah.
Have a nice day.
You too.
Have a great day.
Thanks. You too.
Where you go to college makes a statement about you. This place will become a part of you, your identity for life. The University of Kansas, a great place to be you.
Welcome back. I'm Tristan Allen.
And I'm Jeremy Ingles. And today the big story is Jayhawk football. Tonight the Jayhawks are back in action against Boston College tonight at 6:30. Boston College is coming off a big win last week, 45-13. And tonight they are favored to win by 21 points against the Jayhawks in Les Miles' first road game as the Kansas head coach.
Last week, Kansas lost to Coastal Carolina 7-12. Turnovers were a big problem last week for the Jayhawks. KU had 5 turnovers last week, including 2 interceptions thrown by quarterback Carter Stanley. The coaching staff seemed to lose faith in Carter Stanley in that later in the fourth quarter. So they decided to run the ball into bad looks due to these interceptions that that Carter Stanley had earlier in the game. The O-line can't fend off run blitzes. So even though Puka and Herbert had a great run game early on in the first quarter, don't have them run up in the middle later on in the fourth quarter. I understand Carter Stanley had a very off game. He only threw for 107 yards plus those 2 interceptions we mentioned. And there's Herbert's 1 rushing touchdown. The offense needs to incorporate Puka and Herbert more often to help get some of that stress off of Carter Stanley, because in order for this offense to succeed, Puka and Herbert need to succeed, so that way Carter Stanley can have an easier time at the quarterback.
And tonight, the main key for me is the run game on both sides. The Jayhawks struggled to stop the run last week, and Boston College's main strength is the run game, as they ran for 168 yards last week. And on the other side, they obviously need Puka and Khalil Herbert to run wild to give Carter Stanley more confidence throwing the ball.
This game will also be big for Carter Stanley, because this game will also help to determine whether KU should continue starting Carter Stanley in the future, or if they will start their other quarterback, Thomas McVitie. So my keys for the game, essentially, you have to trust our quarterback, because we cannot run the ball into bad looks like we did last week, and we also have to increase the passing game. Also in sports, the Jayhawk volleyball team is finally back in Lawrence. KU volleyball won their debut in the newly renovated Horsch Family Volleyball Arena at the Kansas Invitational. The Jayhawks swept Moorhead State behind senior Zoe Hill's team best 10 kills. Tonight, KU will take on Arizona in their second match of the Kansas Invitational, and Coach Bouchard said that the offense will need to improve.
We didn't get a lot of kills because we were blocking so well, and they had a little problem from the service line. So second set, 7 or 8 kills, you don't really usually win a set with that many, but when you block 6 balls and they miss 6 serves, that makes a big difference. But then we got Zoe going a little bit more in the third set, mixed it up offensively a little bit more. But we're going to have to be, offensively is where we got to make some gains if we want to hang with a team like Arizona.
That's it for our sports news today. Please keep watching. After the break, Brooklyn will be back with the weather.
For students searching for a way to stay active in an outdoorsy way, the City of Lawrence has bike trails running in every direction, and with the new bike share program, we can stay in shape as we tour the sights of our beautiful city. Clinton Lake is only a short 30-minute bike ride away from Daisy Hill and has the most incredible sunset location in all of Lawrence. Walking campus may give you the KU calves, but biking can give you the KU thighs. Bike Lawrence today.
Good morning, Jayhawks, and happy Friday. I am Brooklyn Royer with your weather for the semester. We had a little bit of a cooler start to our day It's a nice break from the 90s that we've had this past week. Looking at today, we'll heat up pretty quickly today. With that cold front moving in, though, we won't see temperatures too high, just shy of 80 degrees. And then sunny skies. It's going to be a really beautiful day today. Get out there and enjoy that. And then another beautiful weekend as well. We'll see temperatures in the 80s on Saturday. Really beautiful and clear skies. And then those temperatures will jump right back up to 90 on Sunday. And then looking at the 7-day forecast, we're not quite out of those hot, sunny days next week. You can see temperatures in the 90s almost most of the week. We will have some scattered storms on Thursday and Friday, which will bring in some cooler air on the end of the week. But that's all we have for weather. We'll be back after the break.
When you shop local in the heart of the city, you support the people that make our community thrive. The money you spend here stays here, in this place we call our home. Lawrence, Kansas, where there's good old-fashioned hometown pride. Eat local, drink local, shop local.
Have a nice day. You too. Have a great day. Thanks. You too.
Make someone's day. Pay it forward.
Welcome back, Jayhawks. I hope you guys enjoyed today's show. It was fun. We had some hiccups here and there, but for the most part, I think we did fairly well. What do you think, Matt?
Yeah, dude. The first show is always interesting because we're figuring out some kinks, introducing some new people to it, but overall, it was a good time.
It was a fun time.
We're going to make it better with each show this next semester.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's going to be great.
It's going to be huge.
Yeah.
Aaron, do you
up?
have any weekend plans? Are you excited about anything happening?
I mean, I was going to go to the movies tonight, probably go see It, Chapter 2.
Yeah,
I haven't
Chapter
seen
2.
that.
It's great.
Is it good?
I enjoy it a lot. Some people have issues with it, but some people have issue with everything. So, go see it if you want to.
I like horror movies, so
Yeah,
it should be a good
that'll
time,
be-
right?
That'll be a good time, yeah.
What about you?
I got some family coming in to visit me in Lawrence. I'm very excited. Just a couple family members, but it'll be a good time. And then I rented some movies from the library that I gotta actually watch. Go to the local library. It's a good time. You'll really enjoy it.
They have movies at the library?
They have movies. They have video games, comic books.
So it's like Starbucks. Not Starbucks, Blockbuster.
Yes, it's a free Blockbuster and family video.
Just not as cool.
No, it's a good time. It's a lot of fun.
I'm just joking. Yeah, go to your library, kids. Use your resources, especially college students, because it helps out a lot. Yeah, nothing.
Have a great weekend. We hope you enjoyed the show.
Thank you.